Okay, so today we're going to be doing the trimming of the vase that we did last time. This is how it turned out. So as you can see, it is very rough on the bottom down here. We're going to want a nice smooth foot on the bottom of that. So first off, we have to get it back on the wheel, but we're going to put it upside down and we're going to center it again. Well, this time we're not going to be pushing like this, otherwise we're going to tear it up. So we set it as center as we can at first, and then we start to spin the wheel. You can see it's wobbling a bit, but to get a feel of when to kind of push there, I just put my finger up against it, and when it starts to push out, I just make some adjustments. Try again. Still a little bit left in there. Pull it back this way a little bit more. You always want to make sure you get as perfectly centered as possible. And you're always going to want to center at your base, because if you center down here, it's going to end up being all on the air. So that feels good and centered. So now we're going to take some pieces of raw clay, and I just typically get 4 chunks that I put around the sides, and I typically will go from putting both on each side at the same time. That way I don't accidentally push it off center. Just check to make sure I didn't move it. We're still staying straight. Put another lump like that. This is our trimming tool. We use this to shave off all this fun stuff at the bottom. So I typically get a good speed going and just start letting it shave. So I'll first just smooth the bottom, make sure it's going to be nice and level. I don't want it to sit all wobbly. And for the sides, I will slowly go in. Start chiseling off that rough. Smoothing it out. And I typically will start up here where it's smooth, and then start going down, and it'll a little bit more evenly smooth out that edge. So that way, start coming down here, we'll start, see how my tool's still bouncing. I want to get that to stop bouncing and end up being nice and smooth. Because if it's not smooth and I put too much pressure and it snags, I could just rip this right off the wheel and it would go flying, and if I'm not quick enough to catch it, it will just ruin the whole vase and have to start from square one. So I'm just going to keep doing some trimming here. So far this has been a good clay. So I'm going to start tapping along here, and I can kind of feel how thick this is, and also I can hear the pot. The more you do it, the more you kind of get a feel for the sound of what you're looking for. I don't have too much more I need to do on this, but I do have a good bit I need to make sure I shave out. So you can do your footers whatever you are comfortable with, or whatever you visually like. I do several different styles of footers. This one would be just a more flat with a slight ring around it. These types are typically a little bit better for like the dishwasher and whatnot, because the less depth you have in a footer, the less like water is going to hold inside your pot when you, or mug or whatever, when you put it into the dishwasher. So I tend to, for some things, I tend to make it a little bit flatter. I do have some mugs that I like to do really tall footers on, just for style. It's not really for any particular purpose other than just aesthetic. feels like we need a little bit more. You want to always make sure you get a decently thin base. And you want to try to make your base match your walls pretty well, or even a little thinner sometimes. Another thing some people like to do is they will make this whole area become like one very slightly bold. So it's nice and smooth looking across the bottom, but it's a divot in the middle, so that way you have a nice ring that it'll sit on as a foot. Personally, I don't typically do that as much. I like a more defined foot. Just to me, it just feels a little neater for a lot of things, but I have had some mugs that I did like the aesthetic of having a nice smooth base. It's all up to you. And I think that is getting to a point that I like. Just gonna smooth up some of these outer edges. I think I'm even going to add right down here at the bottom just a little bit of like a ring. So I'm just carving in with the tool. Just a little bit of a ring at the bottom. Sometimes the clay will, depending on how soft your clay is, soft or hard, but sometimes it will shave and other times it will bristle up a little bit, so you just smooth that out with your finger. It's looking pretty smooth. Make sure that all feels nice and smooth. Alright. And then take it off. See how we like it. So there we go. That's our happy little vase. Now all we have to do is we will put it in, we'll let it get to bone dry, so it will be a very, be almost white actually. For this clay it's going to turn a very, very light brown, more of a tannish white. We will then set to its first stage of firing, which is we get to the bisqueware state, where it will turn to a pinkish color. In fact, I have a mug back here. This has been bisqued already. And now this right here is ready to actually be glazed. And here's actually an example of what one of the taller footers I like to do. I just like the style it does on this type of mug. But I can glaze this mug and then I can send it into the fire. Depending on whatever cone I do. There's cone 6 and cone 10 that we have here. Cone 6 is not as hot as cone 10. The different cones represent different heats, and they have different glaze styles. This I'll probably use in a cone 10. We'll see. We'll see what whatever glaze feels like it'll look best on it. But that's what this will be going through next. And then once it gets to this stage and glazed, and after that, fire it, and it'll be a fully functional mug, and this will hopefully be a fully functional vase. That is all for today. Thank you.